Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. To say that this is a heart-wrenching issue is a understatement. However, this debate has me wondering, has Isaiah's prophecy come true about evil being called good and good being called evil, and putting darkness for light and light for darkness? Even with the First Amendment and religious liberty, is truth being muffled and altered by political correctness? Our culture, our current culture, cannot silence what God has spoken about his word. This is to say that I feel the same way as Peter and John when told not to preach anymore the biblical truths concerning Jesus. They responded that it's better to please God than man. And in my 28 years, I've always taken that position, and my constituents know where I stand on every issue. And when asked, I tell them it's better for me to please God than man. So a question was raised by the author Mark Batterson, and I quote, "Does your heart break for the things that break the heart of God?" Who is pleased the most, God or Satan, with this current debate? The creation needs to worship the Creator, not the other way around. The birth of children is celebrated in the Bible, and Genesis 1:26 and 27 states that we are made in God's image. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 mentions that he was called before being formed in his mother's womb. In Psalm 139, 13 through 14, it says, "For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well." From conception throughout adulthood, we're made in God's image. So in closing, I'm not going to have a long statement, but the two greatest commandments listed in Mark 12, 29, 31. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with thy whole heart, mind, and strength." And this is the first great commandment. And the second is like unto it, to love thy neighbor as you love thyself. There is no other commandments greater than these. So we're to love our neighbor. Who we love? We're to love our neighbor. That's the pro-choice advocates. God loves them. I love them too. Pro-life advocates. They're my neighbor. I love them too. Adults are my neighbor. I love them. And children and all human beings are made in God's image. They're all my neighbor. So based on biblical principles from the Creator, I realize that our bodies is not my body. It's God's body, and when he decides to take my breath from me, it's all in his hands. So I'll close with saying that I'm in opposition to this bill and all the other ones like it, because I'm going to worship the Creator and not the creation. Thank you, Chair.